true the Northern Kenya suffered marginalization historically, but lucky for them, the 2010 Constitution was very kind to the people of Northern Kenya. The 2010 Constitution ushered in devolution. It brought the equalization fund. And since then, the people of Northern Kenya have received billions of Kenya shillings from 2013. Again, the CDF has been a very fair program for the people of Northern Kenya. Unfortunately, the marginalization that has been perpetuated by the leaders from the region. I have put them to task to explain to the people of Northern Kenya where is 1 trillion shillings that has come to Northern Kenya from shareable revenue through devolution, money for CDF, money for the equalization fund. When you go to Wajir, to Mandera, to Garissa, to Isiolo, to Marsabit, there's nothing on the ground. If you come here to the mountain region, you will see money meant for CDF. There are all manner of schools. All schools have tiles. Schools have cabro. They have modern buildings. If you go here to Kajiado North, the money for CDF is visible in the rest of the country. But there's nothing in Northern Kenya. Zero. All these leaders are just here in Nairobi. But there's no accountability because they don't even allow audit to take place. They feign insecurity so that audit has to go into Northern Kenya. If you look at the money that has been given to the governor since 2013, there are no hospitals, there are no dispensaries, there are no health centers, there are no ECDs, there are no roads, there's no water, there's nothing. Northern Kenya requires a special audit of all the funds that have been disbursed to those areas since that time. Number two, you have asked about IBC. We went to IBC and raised various issues. Of course, we did demand the removal of the CEO, and we are grateful that he has been removed. We call for a transparent and open recruitment of a CEO with no interference from the state. Further, we call upon the IBC to terminate the contracts for the mathematics system of conducting elections, the Venezuelan technology that was illegally extended by the outgoing CEO, Juan Marjan. He did it when there was no commission. It's an illegality, and that contract is illegal. And that contract should be terminated, and IBC should advertise and acquire modern and credible system for conducting our elections. Thank you. On? Yes. Most of these governors cannot complain of extortion. Why they are being is extorted, especially the ones from Northern Kenya. They have stolen all the money meant for the people. So I gather the senators are reasoning that since they have stolen from the people, they need to steal from them. Of course, two wrongs don't make a right. Of course, the Senate and the National Assembly has been a theater of corruption. When I was being hounded out of office, the senators who hounded me out of office were given 10 million shillings each, and others 20 million. It's a den of corruption. And so is the National Assembly. And by extension, all public institutions. So this is something that we intend to correct when we form government. The United Opposition intends to deal with corruption head-on because it's the greatest challenge that we have as a country. We have a very, very serious challenge where we even have budgeted corruption and where corruption has been institutionalized and people don't find it anything wrong. Again, William Ruto has really encouraged people to practice corruption. He is bribing people in the loans of State House openly when everybody can see. He calls people and gives them bribes. So once the president has shown that bribery is a way of life, the senators have learned from him because he also started by bribing them. So when he is not available to bribe them, they have to be bribed by somebody else. And so bribery has become a normal way of life in this country, and it has been perfected by William Ruto. He is shamelessly, with his deputy, going around in the country with sacks of money stolen from institutions like Kenyatta National Hospital to bribe people for re-election. And therefore the senators, the MPs, the police, the administrators, everybody is learning from the best. William Ruto is the one who has perfected bribery as a way of life. And therefore everybody has learned from him. And that is the country now that we have. And that is why we are preparing for the next election to correct this situation by removing from office and bringing a government that is transparent and accountable. Yes? Too many questions. Those are enough. One, we agree with that petition. State House has become a scene of crime. Instead of being a coveted institution where good policies are conceived and pronounced, it has become the center of corruption and bribery. It has also, is no longer a national institution that looks after the people of Kenya. It is now the headquarters for UDA party and the election of William Ruto. William Ruto has abandoned government. He's not running the government anymore. He's just thinking about the election. So State House is a campaign scene, and again, a scene of corruption and bribery. We are committed to have one single presidential candidate to face William Ruto. We want to ask patience from the people of Kenya. Coalition building is a delicate affair, but the people of Kenya have been very clear to us that they want one candidate to face William Ruto, and we want to give them that commitment. On my part, I want to give that commitment. And when I listen to my sister Mada Karua and my other brothers in the alternative government, they are all committed that we shall have one single presidential candidate to face William Ruto. What I want to ask is patience, and there is no hurry. Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, was named as the opposition flag bearer on the 14th of October 2022, when the election was on 27th December the same year. 2 months, 13 days apart. There's no hurry. We can take our sweet time. If you ask me, we should not be in a hurry. Anything from March, April next year is good enough. We told IG Kaja that we shall go back on the 16th for a report. We want to hear from him. I have information William Ruto has said those people should not be taken to court because he will be indicted. And he will be shooting himself in the foot because they are actually policemen and politicians very close to him. The investigations have actually unearthed all the police officers who were on the scene and the politicians who hosted them and who planned the attack. But there will be a very serious cover-up. I have information that William Ruto has said that he would not allow the prosecution of those politicians and those policemen because his government will be right in the center of it. But let's cross the bridge when we get there. We'll go to see the IG on the 16th. He promised us that he'll give us a progress report. And we told him we want arrest and prosecution by then. But let's cross the bridge when we get there. Last one. Yes. My friend, I'm here today talking about Northern Kenya. I'm a Kenyan leader. William Ruto has unsuccessfully tried to say I'm tribal because I come from the mountain and I spend a lot of time there because it's home. Even you people, when you go to work, in the evening you go back home because that's home. I'm a Kenyan leader and I'll be talking about Kenya. I'm today talking about Northern Kenya. Later tonight I have radio stations from the Ma community discussing issues in Narok, in Kajiado, and in Samburu. I want to say the 2010 Constitution dealt in a very big way with the issue of marginalization. My administration will work on accountability to make sure that funds, public funds, appropriated by the National Assembly and given to the counties and given to the MPs through the Constitutional Development Fund, those funds are spent prudently for the purposes for which they were appropriated. I don't think we have really a big problem about lack of funds. It's the issue of accountability, and more so the North. The people of Northern Kenya have borne the brunt of lack of accountability. And they have been taken for granted for too long. And that's why they're happy with me. And I can tell you, President William Ruto has the MPs and the governors in Northern Kenya and the senators. I have the people. The people are with me because I'm talking their language. And I've become a very serious defender of the people of Northern Kenya. And I want to give them a solemn promise and undertaking that in the next 1.5 years, I'll be their spokesman. I'll bring out all the issues that bedevil their region. I'll call out their leaders until they get justice. And after I'm elected president, I'll sort them out. I'll carry out a special audit on funds allocated to those regions from 2013 to date. And those who have misappropriated those funds will be held accountable. And they must pay the price for stealing public funds. Yes.
What do you want to say about the health situation in the Mount Kenya region now that you are against the food supply system being used by politicians?
The drought situation in Mount Kenya region is very minimal. There are very few areas that receive relief food in the Central Kenya region, where I worked for many years as a district officer. I know the Mount Kenya region like the back of my hand. We have some little challenge in Tharaka, some little challenge in Bere, some little challenge in Katwanyaga, in Thika, some little challenge in Kakuzi, in Maragua, some little challenge in Karai, in Kikuyu, some little challenge in Deya, in Rimuru, some little challenge in Keni, in Nyeri. That's it. And a little challenge in some parts of Ndarawa, in Nyandarua. We have no business sending food to Kinangop. It's the basket of this country to give food to the people of Kenya. You have no business sending food to Kirinyaga. You have no business sending food to Madeira. You have no business sending food to Tigoni. You have no business sending food to Gatundu. Those are people who have food. That food should be taken to Wajir, to Garissa, to Marsabit, to Turkana. That is where the food is needed. And if it was to be taken to the people of Mount Kenya region, it should be taken to those who are starving, not as bribes for votes. That is where we have a problem. And probably now that you have talked about that, let me also say, I have seen leaders from Western Kenya, the governor, the deputy governor, I've seen Aden Duale and others. They have been sent by William Ruto to abuse President Uhuru Kenyatta and trying to intimidate him and trying to sell him fear that he should not have a political mind, he should not interact with other leaders in Kenya, and he shouldn't have a political choice. And if he does so, they will take away his retirement benefits and his allowances. Let me tell those leaders sent by William Ruto. One, they have no moral authority to address President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta is the retired president of the Republic of Kenya, a statesman, a very serious nationalist, a Kenya who served this country with dedication and who deserves respect. Number two, I don't think President Uhuru Kenyatta can give up his constitutional obligations because of allowances. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a poor man. He's a Kenyan who has worked hard. He's a Kenyan who has money and resources. And I don't think the President Uhuru Kenyatta can be told to shut up so that he gets allowances or he doesn't get. In any case, even if they carry out the threat and hold his allowances, there's no problem. Once we take over office, we shall give President Kenyatta his dues. And I know why they have a problem with the President Uhuru Kenyatta. President William Ruto is in shock. He is confused. He has panicked. The one-term thing is real because he became president courtesy of the votes from the Mount Kenya region. The Mount Kenya region, those who voted for him, those who voted for Raila are all against him. He had hoped he could persuade President Uhuru Kenyatta to assist him to divide the mountain. Even when he went to cry to him in Ichaweri, he was there on a mission to see how he can get President Uhuru Kenyatta to see whether in one way or another he could cause some confusion and the mountain is divided so that the mountain vote does not go to somebody else in one basket. President Uhuru Kenyatta cannot allow President William Ruto to divide the mountain. President Kenyatta and I and other leaders, Martha Karua, Justin Muturi, Mithika Linturi, will do whatever it takes to make sure the mountain is united, because that vote is very important to this country, and it is a vote that will help the rest of Kenyans get rid of William Ruto. So I want to ask William Ruto to stop sending junior leaders to abuse President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta left you a great country. When he left office, the health system was working. In 3 years, you have destroyed the health system. When President Uhuru Kenyatta left office, the university, the Higher Education Loans Board was working. 3 years down the line, you have destroyed it. When President Uhuru Kenyatta left office, there was capitation for primary schools and secondary schools. 3 years down the line, children are at home. Stop blaming President Uhuru Kenyatta for your political problems and challenges. You destabilize your own government. You lie to the people of Kenya. You have made corruption a way of life. You have made bribery the epitome of State House. The challenges that you have as a president are of your own making. And stop blaming President Uhuru Kenyatta. Stop sending leaders to abuse President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to challenge William Ruto, if he's a man enough to abuse President Kenyatta himself. Stop sending some leaders to abuse President Kenyatta on your behalf. Do it yourself if you are man enough. Abuse him. And let me say, I will not allow President Uhuru Kenyatta to be intimidated. I have a responsibility as a leader from the region to defend our son, our kinsman. President Uhuru Kenyatta must be allowed to retire in dignity. He must be allowed to enjoy his constitutional freedom to do whatever he wants. If he wants to work with us, why not? If he wants to work with Rigathi Gachagua to unite the mountain, to unite Kenya, why not? And I want to tell William Ruto, I heard him saying that Azimio cannot be anything without ODM. He is lost. The ODM of Raila Odinga is not the ODM of today. What William Ruto is holding is a shell of ODM, the fake one, of Junet Mohammed, Gladys Wanga, and Oburu Odinga. The ODMB, the one with the people, is gone and is in one term. The people of Ukambani are gone, they are in one term. The people of Kisii are gone, they are in one term. The mountain is gone, is in one term. And by the way, there is no UDA without the mountain. It's a shell. So let him not, and he should know, Azimio only lost because the mountain did not go to Azimio in total. As we talk, the mountain, Azimio, United Opposition, ODMB, all of us are in one term. We'll get 70+1 and we'll make him one-term president. So let him stop sending people to abuse President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let him not demean Azimio. Let him deal with his own challenges that are self-inflicted. He mismanaged politics. He mismanaged the country. He made corruption a way of life. He made lies as his trademark. And Kenyans are fed up because they can see through him. And therefore, he should sort out his own problems, and he should not send people to blame President Uhuru Kenyatta for his woes. And I want to say to the people of Kenya that I will take time. Anytime Uhuru Kenyatta is attacked, I must defend him as our retired president, as my brother, as my kinsman, and I have a responsibility to do so. And that I'll be able to do from time to time. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Mungu abariki. I think we have said enough. Asanteni.